hurry. So today, as you can see, I have a lot of stuff going on here, and I am going to do some altered notebook covers, which I first watched on Rachel's channel, Roxy Creations, and then she mentioned that that was from Tracie Fox's channel. So I went over to Tracie Fox's channel and I saw the one she did for Mrs. Coggs, or she used Mrs. Coggs digitals. Mine is going to be a little different in that I'm just going to use what I have. I have a lot of scraps that have built up over the past few projects. So I think that we are going to do another scrappy project. And here I had to take apart a really old Peter Pan golden book that was falling apart, but I wanted to save what I could from it. So I have some of those. I have some cutouts from another project. I have a lot of fabric scraps. I have assorted scrapbook paper scraps. Yeah, so just a lot of scraps. And then I have a whole nother box, like my scrap box, that I keep just papers or digitals that I don't end up using, that I don't want to just trash because they cost money to print, right? I have my Maleficent book in case there's anything in here I wanted to use. And I have my personal journals because I do morning pages every morning. I do between 1 to 3 pages depending on how much time I have in the morning before work. So I don't know if I'll do these just because I already put stickers on there, but I just wanted to show you like my collection of notebooks. And this is the one I'm currently using. So I have lots and lots, and this is the current one I'm writing in. And then I have a daily brain dump, which is just a book where I write things I need to get out of my brain if I don't have time to write in here. So I've got quite a few. So I think I will start with these, and let's start with the one I'm currently writing in. So this isn't really a tutorial. This is more like a craft with me / ramble, because I've been in a little bit of a craft funk. Yeah, so I don't know why or how. It's probably burnt out from like all my other life activities that are not related to this, but just sort of lacking inspiration and just not really feeling much like crafting. And so somebody on the alternative junk journals group, and I don't want to say their name because obviously it's privacy, it's a private group, but they just mentioned something to the effect of being in a crafting kind of slump and not really knowing how to get get oneself out of that. And so one of the things that I like to do is just easy projects, mostly collaging and like using up scraps and stuff like that, not putting too much thought, just getting my flow going a bit, if you will. Yeah, so we'll start with this one. We'll put some stuff to the side because it's kind of piling up here, and we will get started. So I'm going to these are probably going to be all embellishments, although this is a very pretty sort of sparkly green. I don't know if that catches on camera, but I do have some bigger pieces here, like this one and this paper. I forget, this is some gorgeous paper, and I'm sorry for the lighting, but the lighting is a little weird, I know. So this is really beautiful here, so I might use that. And I have this piece, which is really pretty. I got some Tim Holtz bugs, those are cool. And I've got bird cages. So I'd love to hear down in the comments about your own struggles with craft slumps and sort of what you do to kind of get yourself out of those. So some of the people had some good sort of suggestions on there. But, you know, I know it's hard. I know it's, you know, like a common thing amongst crafters to get burnt out and sort of feel like you are just not vibing right. So yeah, just let me know what you guys do, and I'll try to not talk too much, or at least not bore you to death. But yeah, I'm like one of those people that either is like in a big time crafty mood or just not in the crafty mood at all. And you know, because it's me, there's gonna be some weird shit in here. But yeah, just let me know what you guys are doing to get out of craft slumps and such. I'm just pulling out papers that I think would go nicely in here. Nothing too cray-cray. And I think I'm gonna stop here. I think we have enough. So yes. So I watched one of Tracie's videos, but I think she did a few more, and I have to go back and watch those. But I love the one she did with the Mrs. Cog's printables, because she did like a fabric. I'm just gonna stick to paper for now, but fabric definitely is right up my alley. I love using fabric and stuff. So right now I'm just separating digitals into actual like scraps. And the words I'll put here. And so this is all paper. Okay. So the whole point of this is just not to think, right? Not to think. We're just gonna do. So I think about there. And again, I'm one of those just tear it kind of people. So that's what we're gonna do. Right? We're just gonna tear and keep it moving. So maybe there. Oh, that looks good. And you could distress your notebook if you want. I think Tracie did distress, but I'm kind of not in the distressy mood right now. But yeah, mostly I think I'm mostly burnt out because I've had a lot going on this summer. So I've had school, and then on top of that I switched jobs, and so there's stress that comes along with kind of starting a new job and not knowing anybody and just trying to learn a new place and learn new people. And I have issues with that because I'm sure for those of you that have watched me previously, I do suffer from some social anxieties. Not all the time. It's just something that I struggle with since I was a kid for whatever reason, you know, bullying and such. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar. But I grew up in a rough area with rough kids, and so that didn't always bode well for me growing up. And so I think that's where that stemmed from. But you know, I'm not trying to bore you with my childhood trauma. So basically that's where it stems from. And it's a daily struggle to not sort of let my anxiety get the best of me. And so that's why I started crafting in the first place, was because it felt right. It felt like this was something that I could have as my own, I guess. So let's see here. I think I might put this here. I'm just breaking it because I don't like kind of clean edges. So I think there's good. So put that there. But I try not to let my anxiety get the best of me. And it's funny because my job literally involves talking to a bunch of strangers every day and being assertive and sort of asking for things that may not be popular with some people and sort of making suggestions and stuff like that. So I feel like part of me is able to get on top of it. Oop, I need to push it more inwards. There we go. So part of me is able to sort of persevere, and then other times it feels very overwhelming in certain situations, and it's not all the time. And at face value, if you met me, you would never think that I'm a person that suffers from anxiety. But I am, and have assimilated enough where I can hide it really well. But this is mostly why I'm a homebody, and I don't like to go out much or do other things. And part of my personal junk journal is to kind of get out there and do stuff, and I haven't been doing that at all. I meant to. I'm gonna put this here. I meant to, and that was the whole premise, and that has quickly dissolved because I have not been going or doing much once I'm home from work. So that has all led to this creative sort of funk. It's just not being able to kind of move past the anxiety this summer, just based on all the craziness that's been going on. So anywho, that's enough about me. If you guys let me know in the comments if you also have anxiety and kind of like ways you help beat that are successful. I would love to hear. I'm gonna put this label right there like this. So I really like the way that's looking so far. But yeah, let me know your ways that help you with your anxiety in the comments. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I'm almost at 5,000 subscribers, and when we get there, there will be a giveaway. And hit the notification bell, because then you won't even know my videos are up, because that's how YouTube works now. So yeah. Let's see. I want to put a quote on here. Oh, this is pretty. Something to remember me by. Very true, because this is all my very personal thoughts on life. So that looks super cute. Now we're going to work on the back. But before that, now that I'm looking at this, I think Tracie Fox was right. I think I need to distress here. So, of course, because I do things backwards, that's what we're going to do. So let's distress, shall we? And that way it doesn't bother me as much. And there's some contrast in between the layers. So that looks really cute. And now we will need to do the back. So again, really not thinking too much here. More doing. So that's perfect. And then my glue. I keep getting interrupted. So anyhow, I distressed the notebook while we were off camera. Now I'm going to just paste this on here, or glue this on here rather. And we will do it a little bit farther away from the spine. That way when we open and close the book, because I'm still actively using this one, we will have room for that. Okay, and let's see. I feel like we need another patterned, or maybe some fabric. Let's do some fabric. Yeah. But I don't want random legs hanging out here, so we're gonna cut that part off and kind of about there. Let's see, a little bit more, and I kind of leave my scraps that I'm gonna throw out over on this side so I don't get confused. So we'll do this. And then I'm going to do the rough side in, like, towards that side there. And sort of stretch it out. Stretch it out like this. And that way, if anything sticks out, you can sort of trim it. Okay, and then I really like these moons, so I think I'm going to use them, and then I'm going to take that white part off, and that's pretty much perfect right there. Let's take a little piece off the bottom here, like that. And then there's a little gap there, but we're gonna cover that, so don't worry. So here we go. We're gonna glue this on, and maybe down there is probably better. Leave the gap on top because I could put something up there. Let's see, what can we put up there? Maybe this. I hate when your glue, when you stop using it and like a big glob jumps out, and then when you try to glue it down, it leaves a big globby mess. I don't like that. So we'll do that there. And then maybe this little fairy there to kind of hide. But I feel like something needs to be behind her. What shall we put? A contrasting fabric, maybe. Maybe just like a little strip of this. Yeah, that looks good. We'll do that. And then my glue is all not cooperating with me. Actually, before I do all of that, I want to kind of make the edges a little more shabby. Kind of like off center. And then my little fairy can go there. And that's perfect because this is my summer journal because I started this one on 6/17. So I think that's good for this one. And then I'll do one more and then maybe we can do like a series, right? Of like all my different notebooks. That would be cool. So yeah, that is our very cute altered notebook. Obviously no sewing, just scraps glued onto the cover, and it makes it look amazing. So we'll keep going. I want to do one that's a little more creepy-ish with the gargoyles, and then I'll probably keep making these along with you if you're interested, and we'll just have fun with it. So yeah, let's go get our other notebook. So this one's planned Halloween, so that's why I want to use a gargoyle on here. Where are the gargoyles? I really like him. I think this one I will cut out instead of sort of roughly cut it with my hands. Okay, and I think I want to punch the edges on this guy. Let's do this one. And so this one's going to be a little bit more, a little bit darker, I guess, so more masculine. So we'll use some of the Tim Holtz paper scraps we've got going on in here. So that looks really cute. Let's see, we've got this paper, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this, and we have some of this paper. Just pulling out my sort of darker paper. Okay. I like to, so in case anyone has questions about how I collage, I mostly go with the flow, but I do like to do things in threes. I do most things in threes, including, or odds, including like stamping, collage, or you know, different kinds of collage. I tried to do in threes. So let's see how this looks, because I want the 45 to kind of stick out, and then this leaf is really cool, but there's no contrast between this and this. That's the problem. So maybe we'll do this. He can be in the middle somewhere. Maybe he could be a pocket. Maybe this can go. Well, there's no contrast. That's the problem. They're all green. Maybe we can put a floral in here. Maybe with a little label. we can do a label. So let's see. I feel like it's too monotone, so let's take a risk here and see if there's some other paper we can use, or maybe we can use a floral fabric that's not green. So maybe this again, it's too short. Maybe we can do a patchwork. So maybe if we do this. I'm gonna hide the bird cages. And then we can maybe oops. That's cute. I think we shall do that. Oh, but then I cover up my bird cage. Maybe I should off-center it. Like that. Yes. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to sew this. But for me to do that, I need to like mock glue this into place so it doesn't move and then cut. So I think that's what I will do. Just sort of pretend glue. It seems a shame that I would waste all this though. So I think I will cut this off here. Because I could use this somewhere else. Right, and then the feather too, I could use somewhere else, but and this would be sort of there. Kind of like that. Cut a little bit off the top. So like this, and then you would have to distress this because it's ugly and white. And then we sort of use it to measure the other piece. So this piece like this. And then also we want a rough edge on this side. So kind of like that. So let's go ahead and glue that. I did it wrong. It goes like this. Mistakes in junk journaling, what can you do? Well, we'll just put the glue on this edge here. And then attempt to put these together the best that we can. So like this. And then under here, we could do the sails. Like this. And then here, because we already have that rough edge down there, we don't want it to look weird. So we're gonna take off this clean edge. And that looks really good. We just want to maybe take off this clean edge too. So that's pretty good right there. And you could definitely distress all this, so okay. And then we have our gargoyle. We have our little Paris, which I thought was funny because we have our the gargoyles on these pictures are from Notre Dame, so I just thought that was cute. So we actually will just put a little bit of glue on this. Oh, you know what? I want to do some decorative stitching on the edges here, so I'll wait on that. I'm going to go and do that sewing, and then I will be back. Okay, so hopefully I'm in frame. So I just did some sewing around the collage, and that way we can stick it on there. I'm just trying to get rid of any excess string. So I think that looks really good. Okay, so we're gonna glue this bad boy on. So I think that looks really cute. And then what we could do is maybe make a tag out of the purple, and then that would offset that. And I want it to stick up a little bit, so we're going to use our paper cutter. I think this would fit in here. Let's see. Perfect. So we're just gonna do a little snip, and then I know I have my it's in here somewhere. Where's my hole punch? Oh, I see it. So we're just going to hole punch. I don't want to. There's a violet there. I don't want to punch that, and then we're going to distress this. And you could add a ribbon, I guess, if you wanted to, but because this is like functional for me and too much textile kind of just hinders me, doesn't help me, which is why the other one I didn't really do sewing on it. We're just gonna leave it be. I just wanted to peek out the top to kind of offset the green a little bit. So like that. So this is our second altar notebook, and it's getting kind of messy here. I think I'm going to do the green fabric on the back. So what I do is I just line it up, and then where you're going to cut the fabric, I just crease with my nail, and then that leaves an imprint, and you kind of go by that on where to cut. It doesn't have to be perfect because we want it a little shabby. And then I'm just gonna sort of break up the edges a little bit. So sort of like that. But the other thing is that I want the fabric over the paper, right? Because I don't want the shabby part. So I think I'm gonna use this paper, which is pretty much almost perfect. And then we can do the edge as well. I did that a little bit more than I wanted to. So kind of like that. And this back part I won't sew because that's just being an overachiever. Come on. I'm kidding. I just don't think it needs it. How about that? Does that work? As an excuse. And then what else did I have here? I think I need some color. So maybe we can do some gold foil under here. So let's just glue these first. Well, now I'm thinking maybe we need the clean edge on there. Let me round this a little bit. I might do the clean edge on here. So as you can see, and I'm sorry that I'm quiet because I don't seem to be able to craft and talk at the same time, is that I have no rhyme or reason. I try to keep it to like a formula, but then if my eye is the ultimate deciding factor, so if my eye thinks something looks better elsewhere, then believe you me, I will be changing my mind that quickly. Oh great, they're cutting the grass. Perfect. And so then we'll do this one here. I'll probably do the notebook because it's hard to get the glue on the fabric. And then this whole part we can add glue to. And we kind of covered up our gold gold foil there, so I'm just gonna add it on top like this. Like that. And what else? I feel like it needs something else. What do you guys think? Does it need anything else? I don't know. I don't know. What do you say? What say you? Oh, that will look very nice there. What say you? That reminds me of Lord of the Rings. I was watching that. Well, not Lord of the Rings. I was watching The Hobbit. And it just reminds me of that. What say you? Such a nerd. I'm like a big time nerd. This needs some distressing, I think. Actually, I'm just gonna cut this too. Been dying to use this leaf for the longest. I'm sorry if you can't hear me or if you're hearing the grass being cut. I've been wanting to use it this whole time. I just didn't know where I could. So we can do you right there. And I feel like it needs a little bit more purple to tie in that purple up there. I'm just going to use this little teeny piece. Right there. So, wow, we've made a mess. So let me clean up this mess and then I can show you both side by side. Okay, so if you've come this far, then you live through all my rambly mess of feeling out of sorts with creating as of late. And so because of that, I was watching Rachel at Roxy's Creations over the weekend, and she mentioned she was doing altered notebooks inspired by Tracie Fox, because Tracie Fox has a series on her channel where she made these using a variety of digitals. So I was like, hey, that looks like fun. I'm gonna try it, right? And let's see if I can get myself out of this major funk. So that's what I did. And I'm very pleased. I'm just going to, while I talk, finish distressing this guy here, but I'm really pleased with how they came out. So these are my own personal notebooks. Some of them are already written in. I go through about one notebook every 2 months, I want to say, sometimes longer if I'm not really keeping up the practice. I'm not perfect, so definitely there are months and days that I just don't have the time to do my morning pages, or just don't have the motivation to, right? But I have a few more to do, but I wanted to do two totally different kinds so everybody can see sort of the range, I guess, right? Because you can make it really pretty and girly like this one. I really love these sayings. And so what I used here was just scraps and then some digitals that I had left over. I'm really sorry, I don't know where I got most of these digitals, because they were just extras that I printed and then kept in my scrap box. And this is a book cutout that I had saved, some fabric, and then again some more scraps. So I really like this one. It's just very summery and flowery. And then this one I wrote from October 25th through 12/13. So it spanned quite a few months, and it went through Halloween, and I had some gargoyle pictures that I had printed out. and I wanted to include them in here, but looking back on this, there was no rhyme or reason to this at all. I kind of just chose, but then when you know when you go back and you're like, oh my god, that's just like a funny coincidence, but he looks like a dragon, and dragons are obsessed with jewels and gold and stuff, and I just thought it was funny that I picked this that says miscellaneous sales and there's a lot of green like money on here, but yeah, kind of like a woodland gothic vibe. I don't know. And then I chose purple because purple goes really good as a contrast color with green. And then I left a little pocket here for a tag. Maybe I want to write a little synopsis of what these months entailed. So these are the two. I'm really happy with how they came out. I'm excited to do more. So this definitely helped with like feeling sort of blah about crafting or making stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process. Sorry if it was super rambly. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. I love you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.